Welcome to Traveling Through Life, a podcast on the go. I'm your host, Tara, and the founder of the blog Travel with TMc, which is where you'll find free destination guides, points and miles consulting for Canadians, a little bit of van life behind the scenes, and much more. Traveling Through Life, a podcast on the go, is a fun and quirky show that delves into everything travel and adventure, whether from the road, in the air, or in between here and there. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen and leave a 5-star review. These 2 quick, easy actions make a big impact on helping this show reach a wider audience. So thank you for your support. In season 2, my guests and I cover a wide range of travel topics, and it's my hope that you'll hear and see yourself represented in these guests and the conversations that we have. It'd also be awesome if maybe there's something new that piques your interest and maybe gives you a different way of traveling or seeing the world. This week on Traveling Through Life, a podcast on the go, I chat with a man I met on a RyanAir flight almost 7 years ago. His name is Jin, and he's a talented filmmaker from South Korea who's now living in LA. I didn't know it until our discussion on the podcast, but the day we crossed paths was after a very fraught experience he'd had in Italy. Jin and I kept in touch through email and actually met up again about 5 or 6 months later when I returned to Korea for my own journey. Recently, in conversation with my friend Ryan at a local cafe, I spoke about how I love meeting strangers on planes and how I actually get excited in advance for the potential serendipity of meeting a new stranger and learning about their story. Jin is the perfect example of these wonderful, magical encounters. I'm so happy he chose to meet me halfway and talk to the stranger beside him. On the podcast episode with Jin, we talk about everything from the most expensive gin and tonic in the world that he was shocked to receive the bill for, the music that accompanied family road trips in South Korea, vacationing on resorts on Guam with his friends, and healing through travel in Europe in his 20s. We also talk about moving to LA for film school and translating for some of Korea's film giants, especially during today's climate. And last, Jin goes on to explain why New York does live up to the hype and is, in fact, the best city in the world and better than LA. All right. Thanks for listening, and let's dive in. Hey, here we go. Hi, Jin. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, pleasure to be here for the first time in my life in a podcast.
No way, really?
Yeah, I usually, sit behind my laptop for honing in for other people's performance behind the curtain. But yeah, this is my first time.
Well, I'm thrilled that your first time is on Traveling Through Life with Podcast on the Go. That's awesome.
Okay.
So for anybody who's just listening in, my name is Tara, and my guest for today is Jin. And we met, was it in 2019?
I guess, yeah.
I think so. We were both on a RyanAir flight going from Italy to Ireland. And as I tend to do in flights, I spoke to the stranger next to me. And it turned out we had a ton to talk about. And we've kept in touch since then. And today we get to reconnect on the podcast. So why don't you tell everybody about yourself, who you are, what you do, and where you're calling in from today?
Okay. Hello, people in the world. My name's Jin. Living in Los Angeles for now. It's been already almost 3 years. I came here to study film editing. I already had studied films in Korea in my previous film school, which was Korean National Film School there. And we met in an airplane. At the time, I could speak English and I also understood English, but it was a little bit wacky. But she very patiently listened to me very carefully. And at the time, I was really in the middle of, how can I say, like mental crisis or something. But like, I think I had a lot of thing to let out at the time. But yeah, we had a nice talk. And for now, I think I settled in many levels. Like in terms of life or in terms of career. So yeah, I'm like chasing and um having a really nice time with the people that I can trust in, like in terms of career. And I also got married.
Oh, I didn't
S-
know.
so
Congratulations.
yeah,
Oh,
everything seems settled, I guess.
that's such wonderful news. I knew that the two of you were in LA together, but congratulations on your wedding and your marriage.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's awesome. Oh, very cool. Yeah. And by the way, your English was great when we spoke on the plane.
Thank you.
Don't even get me started. It was my Korean that was horrendous.
It
I
was.
knew all of, yeah, it still is. I still only know about 4 words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too funny. Okay. So, born in Korea, you're living in LA now, but you've done some travel in between. Did you grow up traveling? Like, were in your family? Did you do any traveling when you were kids?
I guess so. I mean, like my parents, thankfully, compared to other Korean or generic Asian parents, I mean, my parents more rather pay more time on just traveling a lot, like domestically or even internationally. So, which I still believe that those moments, I mean, I think I forgot a lot of like actual moments of like being here and there, but I think I believe that the senses that I could cultivate while I travel with my parents, like listening to music in the car,
Mm.
or yeah, I mean, what I felt at those numerous places, or what I ate, those things I could, yeah, I just believed in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Mhm.
Do you have siblings? Did you grow up with siblings too?
Yeah. My younger brother, we all four of us, went a lot of places, I guess.
Yeah, mostly by car or by plane or
By
train?
car, I mean, I think the things that I still stuck in my head is, I don't know, like my brother lying on the back seat of my father's car and some 60s, 70s American pop songs. Because my parents love those, not because of like, we have to teach my kids, English or something. That was just solely, they just play those song for the whole travels or even classical music. So I think that opened my sensibility of music, and it's still like really those have been my like grounds of my like fondness toward American songs. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, I guess.
very neat. Is there a
Yeah,
song from your childhood on those drives that stands out for you?
like when I was a kid, more like a basic American songs like ABBA or my parents loved um the
It's okay, we're digging way back into the memory
yeah,
drawer here.
seriously. um
Feel
okay,
free to sing any if you want.
no, I'll get back to this one again. But yeah, because when parents told me that, okay, this is my favorite one, then you cannot forget those things.
Mm,
Like there are also several films that my parents told me back then, like, oh, this is my favorite one. This is one that I loved when I was 30 or something. Then you know that carved me into that. Okay, maybe in a unconscious way, but like I think that made me to want me to listen or see those things, with more carefulness, I guess. But
mm.
that happened, very naturally. Everything was just natural, not, you know, having intention of like forcing me something into,
Right,
education or whatever. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, very
Mm,
cool.
mm.
Do you remember the first trip that you took as a young adult, like by yourself or with friends or without the parents?
Yes. Um, the very first one that I went with my friends, with my own consciousness, was right after I finished my the college university like entrance exam that we took, like um and we went to Guam.
What?
Guam
That was your first? Oh my gosh.
with
Tell
my
us more.
w- Guam is it's really funny, but it's really close to Korean people. I don't know why. Maybe it's because part of America and a lot of people go to Guam because there are like a lot of like travel what do you guys call it? Like a package or
Mm,
um like a lot of travel companies
mhm,
provide this Guam as a whole package with the resort, something like that. So
right.
I with my friends, we just bought this package of travel thing. So we went to some specific resort. So I basically didn't go to Guam itself. I more like went to a specific resort in Guam. We stay for 5 days, you know, solely in that specific resort. So now I have a more own way to manage my travel. But like the time, it was just 4 kids, going abroad. So we just
Yeah.
stayed there and got yeah, that was sort of silly. But anyway,
It sounds like
yeah,
there might be a few stories there.
yeah. Anyway,
Fair enough. Nice.
mm,
And through like you're in your 30s now, correct?
yeah.
Fabulous. Throughout your 20s, like whereabouts did you travel? What guided you in your travels? Who did you enjoy sharing those experiences with, or did you do them on your own or a mix?
Mm. So I guess like my travels in 20s mostly about um being a wanderer, like um and finding a peace,
Hmm.
in me because so I went to like Italy or Paris, especially Italy. I think when I went there like I just 3 or 4 times
Oh, wow.
by myself. I just spontaneously just bought the tickets, and I didn't even like plan for any hotels or where to stay or where to go. I think I just needed to just get away from. I mean, at the time, I don't know. I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I don't know what position specifically I should choose or something, or very um some serious questions like why do I leave, something like that. So I always wanted to like get out from the where I belong to. At the same time, I also traveled a lot to Japan, especially to Okinawa.
Mm.
I think I went there almost 10 times. I mean, it's really close to Korea.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it only takes 2 hours or something, but still like I even went to like Okinawa for like 4 times or something a year with my friends, with my closest friends, because I found Okinawa is really like a hidden gem
Hmm.
or isolated island or something. Because like Okinawa, people can speak English, but at the same time, they more not fluent in English, so I could feel more, you know, um, like less communicative, which I needed. Like, I just want to feel that, um, I mean, the choices that I made, these destinations, I think now I recall, I think I want to be like thrown away someplace. I want to feel either, get lost, or when I need some peace in mind, that I picked this very, mm, somewhere I can feel like calmness.
Mm.
That has been my 20s. I mean, I love those moments, but at the same time, in my deep in mind, I felt very desperate. I don't know what to do. Yeah, those or my sentiment, I guess, that I
Yeah.
had when I was 20. Yeah.
I remember our chat on the plane there and aw. No, it was such a lovely chat because as complete strangers, there's that wonderful space where we can be what I think is open and honest because, who knows if we'll ever see the strangers again. It's a neutral person. And I remember you thinking at that time about what you wanted to do with film and doubting yourself a little bit, I think, at the time. And now you're flying with what you're doing. Um, and I'm curious to know, like, because I can relate a little bit to what you're saying too about choosing destinations that allow you to quiet, like having that bit of language barrier or being in a space that's a bit more physically isolated, that gives you that time to quiet your mind when your external settings are
Hmm, hmm.
quieter or more separated from you. I can relate to that.
Yeah,
Um,
like especially like when you go to Okinawa, I generally went to not the like capital of Okinawa or something. I mean, my friends and I, and also my wife and I, just took in a small ship to go to like 1 hour away from the main cities.
mm,
So we actually went to some. I mean, Okinawa is island, but we even went to a more way smaller island where like small villages, um, were they barely can speak English. But
mm,
my wife can speak Japanese, and my friends could speak a little bit of Japanese, but I basically cannot. So generally, when I go to um a lot of places where you can just speak English, but like I just always just stand there, even in a coffee shop or like even the grocery shops. I just pick things and as if I don't know anything about this place. I think I intentionally loved the sense of it's not that distant from the environment where I lived, in Korea. Like it's somehow similar, but
mm,
somehow a little bit different. So I think I really felt this comfortedness,
mm.
like only took me 2 hours, enough of time that I can feel that I'm going to somewhere else.
Yeah.
But so this is a place where I feel comfortable at the same time. Something's different, but I cannot speak this language. So so Okinawa for me, for my entire 20s, very it was very my secret like key to get through this existential crisis or something. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
the 20s are a tough time. They're turbulent. You're
Yeah.
you're figuring out who you are and what you wanna do and how you're gonna navigate the world, and quite literally, travel is such a wonderful tool to help people do that difference of location and the familiarity that you mentioned in being in a new place, but also being somewhere physically different. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. That's beautiful. Have you been back to Okinawa in the last few years, or when was the last time you were there?
It's been a while because like I came here, Los Angeles, like 3 years ago. I only went to Korea like 1 or 2 times since then.
Mm.
So, I mean, Japan is far from here. So,
Mhm.
but like we talked a lot. I mean, my friends and I really talked a lot about the time we spent in Okinawa. I mean, we took a lot of pictures there, and that's the time and place where I practiced my, skill set of taking photos. I mean,
Mm.
the subjects were my friends at the time. I mean, which taught me a lot how to, tackle with this small gadget. And we always talk like this. I mean, like we can go, like to Okinawa, even though it's a little bit tricky because everyone's like working for their own jobs. But like we can go, but we also know that we can never, you know, realize the sensibility again. I mean, at the time we were young and we just stayed in a small Airbnb, and we just could find any joy or yeah, just buying some stuff from the convenience store. I mean, Japan's convenience store is awesome, but
Oh, they're fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like we could drink. I mean, we knew that we picked. We are so glad that we couldn't miss the perfect timing.
Mm.
Um, at the moment, like I mean, it's not gonna be the same. So that's
Definitely.
something um permanently will reside in myself that, as a fundamental source of what is being what is feel like to be on travel. Yeah.
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 It makes sense. The little that I know you in the years that we have known each other, it makes sense to me as well that you've gone into the film industry. You describe yourself being a bit of an observer and enjoy stepping back a little bit. And
Yeah.
yeah, from what you just said there, you were happy for your friends and your now wife to do the talking, and you could take things in a little bit, or be the documenter in the group. Maybe I'm wrong in this
No, no, no.
observation,
I
but
guess I guess that's the sensibility that I was born with, I guess,
mm,
more like, you know, because I am, exposed to people who perform like and I'm like, um, I could sense that I'm not type of person who want to express myself in front of camera or something, but I more like feel comfortable with like behind the curtain or like in front of the monitor,
mhm,
to observe so that I have more like sense of control. So maybe I guess yeah, that's
yeah.
me.
It
Yeah.
makes sense. I can relate to this as well.
Yeah.
When did film come into your life as something that you wanted to pursue?
That is also I can, recall as a influence from my parents. My parents watched a lot of films. They still watch a lot of films. They never forced me, like you should study or something like that. But there's this unforgettable memory that I have. So when I was middle school, I guess when I was 12, I don't know, but like my mother. So there's this Moulin Rouge,
Yeah.
starred by Nicole Kidman. It was playing like in a TV program or something. It was 1 in the morning, and my mother told me that okay, you don't have to go to school tomorrow, but you have to watch this right now. Yeah, and I loved it. There are a lot of pop songs in there. So, I mean, I think this fondness my parents had in film just naturally nurtured my, you know, interest in this medium. And also, I really loved going to like video store. I mean, we don't
Mm.
watch video anymore, but like at the time, my mother and I went video store almost every day
Wow.
because my mother like came to school to pick me up. But there's this, small video shop, which also has its like, like snack shops together. So it was just a part of journey from school to my place. Always, we just went there. And my mother told me about like actors and actresses, um, especially in America. And yeah, I could still remember the smell and the scenery of the place and then walking, you know, between the aisles of this deck of, videotapes and yeah, and watching the titles of the movies.
I'm with you on the fond memories of video stores that used
Mhm,
to be like a Friday. Oh, we've
mhm.
got someone's doing their lawn over there.
Sorry, yeah.
That's okay. It's part of
Mhm,
life.
mhm,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I remember as kids going to the video store. Same thing, like walking among the aisles and looking for the title that you wanted and picking your snacks. And then in university, that was like a Friday night ritual was,
mhm,
I
mhm.
I think we need to bring back video stores.
Yeah, we don't need algorithm anymore, seriously.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness. Okay, well, talk to us a little bit about choosing to move from Korea to well, and actually, I wanna back up a little bit. Whereabouts in Korea did you grow up?
I grew up when I was young in Busan, which
Ah,
is more like a southern part of South Korea.
I've been.
Yeah, but I went to Seoul after I got into university.
Yeah,
So ever since I was 20, I lived there for about 10 years, I guess.
very cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
In 2019, I returned to Korea after
Hmm.
having lived there. I wanted to just layer some better memories of the place.
Hmm.
And a former colleague of mine, we met up in Busan, and there
Oh,
was a huge fireworks display that evening. I don't even remember what it was for, but it was some of the best fireworks I've ever seen. It was great. It was on the
hmm, hmm,
water there.
hmm.
Yeah.
I studied in Seoul, and um, I think I wanted to be a director at the moment, but and I even went to this national film school in Korea, located in Seoul. But then I figured I'm just too, someone who just find peace like when I'm alone or something. So, and I'm like being a director is so horrible job. Like, so that's why, but I still wanted to be a filmmaker. So when you go to, international school or, if you can speak English or something that, you can expand your realm, in this industry. So I picked, American film school in LA to study film editing. So that's the pivotal moment for me,
Hmm.
to take the flight. Yeah.
What was it like moving to LA? What were your first impressions and how was it settling into this new place?
Honestly, I didn't have like any, you know, interest or because I thought I am more like a New York person. Even though I didn't even went to New York at the time, from films or whatever, you know, more like a very, you know, like in the buildings, like walking the street, like whatever, yeah, whatever New York vibe has. But like, I didn't see myself being in Los Angeles at all. But like this particular in the program and this particular film school is like, what can I say, like the most privileged, yeah, whatever thing. So I had to choose this one. And first, the weather is awesome. But at the same time, there's no fluctuation in anything. I mean, Korea is really wild. When it's winter, it's it's damn cold. When it's summer, it's horribly hot. But at the same time, there's this joy that you have to pull out your coat or something when it's winter. But like here, like it's every day's the basically same, which is good for filming, I guess. But like,
True.
um, yeah, I think I don't know for how long I will live here, but um, but I think it helped me to settle in, like um, emotionally, because there's this like stability,
Mhm.
there's like, I think it helped me to only focus on my side.
There's
Yeah.
one less thing to think about. There's one less thing to adjust to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
That makes
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm.
Was there anything that you, despite thinking that you were a New Yorker at heart, was there anything that you automatically were drawn to once you got to LA other than the sun, or anything that you were like, oh, I'm not a fan of this?
I loved for the 2 years for the program. Every time I went to school, driving school, I could see the Hollywood sign because my school is literally right beneath the mountain of the
Oh,
Hollywood
wow.
sign. So like every time I had like Starbucks coffee, I don't know, I was just trying to like being an American or something, but I grabbing Starbucks in my car, heading to school, watching the Hollywood sign really gave me sense that, I'm like entering to the center of, you know, filmmaking. I was just no one in Busan or Seoul, only obsessed with in the film for my whole lifetime. And now I am in Hollywood. I mean, but every morning I watch that sign as if, brainwash me. Okay, I'm getting into this, the heart of, filmmaking. But I really loved every day was sunny and Hollywood sign. Yeah, that scene, I think that will, you know, they will live with me forever, I guess, that image. But at the same time, the street is messy. A lot of like homeless people. Yeah, it's not that hygiene like the place that I lived, in Korea. Um, but now I'm really used to this as a part of, yeah, this is LA, I guess. Some place, there's this dream factory at the same time, what really dream is about. So, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
sounds like, when you were going to school there, you lived your own film montage. I can just,
yeah,
like,
I
see
guess.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, interesting. Um, we don't have to get into it too much, but I'm curious to know, being that, um, I'm guessing you came on a visitor visa for like, a student visa for school?
Yeah.
And now with, he who must not be named in office and whatnot, how is that affecting your life in terms of being able to see family or stability or, like, peace of mind? How has that been for you lately?
Yeah. So I'm staying here still as with the student visa, but I'm trying to shift this to a so-called artist visa, which
Okay.
is a lot of my friends got to, obtain. But there's this fantastic story that I have. So I actually went to Tokyo, like last month with
Oh,
my wife for
nice.
celebrating like third year anniversary or something. It's already the third year. I mean, okay. Uh, but I had horrible, horrible experience at LAX, airport,
Oh.
which never happened. I uh, went to Korea or I went to other places while I, ever since I started to live in Los Angeles, but this is the first time. But I had my all legitimate documents, or I even had more documents that I even needed.
Mm.
But, but they detained me
No.
for almost 3 hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And when I got, escorted to another room, I was like, okay, is this serious? I'm like, and the person was like, oh, this is nothing. This is just for procedure, whatever. You are in your like post program, phase where you can work or something. We just, trying to check this once more. And once the door opened, like there were like 50 people, like very desperate and like gloomy faces already. And there were even people who already, been captivated in the room like almost for 6 hours something. Somebody even was crying and yelling. I was like, what is this? Like, and I didn't even have to have like extra interview. They just, took my old documents and passport for 2 hours or something, and they just, handed it out again. But there were people who were, having an interview and like yelling or something. But like, of course, I knew this different, you know, um, environment or this vibe these days. But that was my, you know, like
Mm.
tactile is yeah. I was like, okay, this is real thing. That was my wife had to wait for 2 or 3 hours in the airport. Yeah, I think I was trying to absorb the air in the room
Mm.
to learn about, you know, um, I think I knew that I was gonna be okay. I mean, I had all the documents. I have legitimate reason to be here.
Mhm,
But at the
mhm.
same time, I mean, everyone else, the majority of the people in the room also seem to have, there seems like a student or something. I think this is for, you know, giving us like intentionally like a fear or something. Like it's just
Mm.
more about like educating us that, and I didn't want to surrender myself that, even though, you know, it it forcing me to feel that specific way or something. But, like, okay. But yeah, I was trying to imagine that there's even more people who are in a more desperate, situation, like, legally or something. And I know that I am in a more fortunate case.
Mm.
So that kind of like helped me to expand my imagination that, in this world, there are people who are more in danger, I guess. Yeah.
Mm. Mhm. Interesting time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened for both you and your wife. That would be a
Hmm.
stressful situation. Has your time being in California, have you been able to explore the state at all, or has it been something you've been interested in doing, or has it been like head down, get the like get the degree, get going through the program and
Yeah.
get work sort of thing?
Basically, it was just about, the program. But I I went to New York for the first time, even though I had my own image about New York for for a long time. But my wife and I went to New York last year, and honestly, I had thought that I know about New York because everyone know. I mean, New York is the center of, is capital of Earth. So, but I went there. I honestly really shocked. I'm like, that was. I even thought that I think I have to live here at least a couple of years in um at some point. It was really, yeah, now I could understand why people always say about New York, New York. I was like,
Mm.
yeah, I think I read about New York or I watched a lot of New York. I listened about New York. Well, I thought, I know about them, but wow, it was
Can you
that
put
was
your
city.
can you put can you put your finger on like what it was? Because it's one thing to have this idea about it and for us to be like, wow, that's where I want to be. But it's another thing for us to actually get there and then be like, oh no, for real, this is a place that I want to be. So oftentimes those two, the idea and the place don't match. But what was it for you?
Yeah, because like even though it's been 3 years, LA, I don't think I'm really close to this city. I mean, I know a lot of places now, but I don't, like from the deep level, I don't see myself. I mean, there are like tons of opportunities here. So if I'm gonna leave here, maybe that's because about my career or something. When I went to New York, I was like just instantly the 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 first reason was I just liked walking.
Mm.
You don't have to walk. I mean, you never walk in Los Angeles. So I just love, when you walk, you know, um, the way you experience the scenes, it changes, right? As opposed to when you ride a car or something. So I loved the sense of, walking. And when you took a subway and you show up in a different area of New York, the scenes are so different, and I really love the as if you watch a theatric experience or film, like it just changes the scenes, and you can also start to walk as soon as scene changes. And I also loved Center Park was a scam. It's like, what is this? This is so gigantic. I think I've been to a lot of parks in the here and there, but like that was just a different level. So I'm like, what is this? I'm like, that was so yeah. I was like, even in the place, I was like, I still had to process what is this? This is so awesome. Yeah. And I'm going to New York again next month
Oh.
for attending a festival for the film that I edited. Um, okay, LA. And so yeah, I think I
I can see your face light up as you're talking about New York. Like I can see how it gets you going. Yeah,
yeah,
that's very cool.
I think I was right. Me thinking about myself, I'm more like a New York person when I was young. I mean, I think yeah, sorry, LA, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mhm.
Do you have any travel traditions, things that you do before, during, or after your trip, and whether they have been consistent throughout your life or changed at different stages?
Um, I think there are two things. I try to go to park for whatever cities that I go, and I also try to go local theaters
Mm.
because they have their own, um, different programs or how they look. I mean, the staff or the merchants
Yeah.
or whatever food they sell. Yeah, even when I went to uh, Tokyo last month, we went to like a small local theater, and I just took the flyers for their programs. Yeah, I mean this is my job at the same time, my hobby, or yeah, it's kind of small tradition that I have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you been to Wellington, New Zealand yet?
Wellington?
Yeah, in New Zealand.
No.
Okay. If you like local theaters, you have to go. So I lived there in 2018. 2018? Yeah, in 2018, and my ex at the time, he was in film and
Oh, okay.
whatnot. I think we had talked about that on the plane. That was probably one of the first things we chatted about. But um, in Wellington, that's where Weta Studios are. That
Okay,
did,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, of course you would know Weta.
Mm-mm.
And there's such a wonderful community there. Like they only have one big cinema. Everything else is independent cinemas. And
Okay.
when you talk about all of them having like their own vibe and the architecture being different and the food, there's something very, very special about Wellington and specifically their film community. I think you would love it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but like I'm
Oh,
really yeah, because there must be Weta. Yeah. And yeah, I really okay.
put it on your list. And
Okay.
because Weta's there, there's been like offshoots of other creative agencies, whether they're in film or
Yeah.
in other parts of the arts. It's such a it's such a
Okay.
cool city. Yeah.
Noted.
Put it on your
Yeah,
list.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mhm, mhm,
Very cool.
mhm.
Um for your program with the timing of things, that was just after the pandemic, correct?
Yes.
Did the pandemic affect your travel goals or your moving abroad or anything like that? Or was it just lucky timing for you?
I think it was lucky time. It was just I mean, we started the program with, you know, wearing masks, but it gradually, you know, we didn't have to. So we were more like ready to be excited, like, you know, okay, now the shit is done. And like, and yeah, and even the program before mine, they did, you know, virtually. A lot of courses, you know, happened virtually. But my case, you know, the school and people just started to, you know, get back into settle up. So I'm more like benefit from. I couldn't
Hmm.
say benefit, but like more like yeah, people are like ready to be
The energy was there.
get connected. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's very cool.
yeah.
On a totally different tangent, have you ever missed a flight?
Missed the flight.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean,
No?
is there something that I've experienced? I guess.
I wouldn't suggest it. I did it once and it was not a fun experience.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just curious, given that you have traveled quite a fair bit.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes it's a
Not
thing
so
that
far.
happens, you
Yeah.
know? And okay,
Yeah.
knock on wood then.
Mhm, mhm.
Have you ever like had any scary experiences or, close calls or anything like that in your travels, or would you say you've been pretty smooth sailing?
Not for the flight. For in general, like
Yeah, in
travel.
general on travels, yeah.
I have the
Oh.
I think I don't know, it was the journey to Italy, um, where I met you. I don't know. But
Yeah.
there when I went to Rome, I think it was my first time to Rome. And like I said, I was desperate in like finding myself or something like that. So I took out this plane and it was night and I was just walking in Rome and this man came to me. He said he was British guy and he asked me, you know, to some direction or something. And I, at the time, I haven't talked to anyone for more than a day, and I don't know this gentle guy just asked me this direction, and we started conversation, and we walked together. And he said he was a accountant or something from London, and you know he was stranger, but I think I felt comfortable with this guy,
Mhm.
you know, and I was so vulnerable at the time, so I
Oh.
think I was ready to open my vulnerability or whatever. But then yeah, he suggests me to grab a beer or something. He said it's on him. Then he took me to his hotel. I mean, he argued that it was his hotel. Then we went to a bar. Um, but then I had to figure at that moment because we could just go to a random bar close to where we were, but he just took me to this specific bar. Then as soon as we sat down in the basement level of bar. We were the only guests, and there's two ladies, no, sat next to us.
Uh-oh.
And like I knew, okay, what is this? And
Oh.
then
Oh, no.
and we ordered gin tonic, and then like these ladies were trying to like, and I figured that this man is also part of this, you know,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and my mind went so like, and I had a passport in my pocket. I
Oh.
was horrible in the imagination, went like, am I gonna even survive? And like, I was so terrified.
Oh, no.
And then the bill, you know, was handed to me, and it was like 700 euro
No, it wasn't. What?
on my end. And I'm like, for two glasses of gin tonic, and with this ladies, whom I was just forced them to get away from.
Oh my god.
But I had just had to, get away from the place, and I, with my father's credit card.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! And then yeah, and they, served me a cab or something. And in the cab, I kind of like let out to this driver,
uh-huh.
like about my situation, and he seemed to understand my English, but at the same time, I was just, letting out my wrath and to this random driver in the
Oh,
first day of Rome,
oh, this
and
was your first day.
yeah, and
Oh.
and then yeah, my father texted me. It was like 4 in the morning in Korea,
Mm.
and but because my parents were so worried about me at the time,
Oh.
I seemed so not okay,
Mm.
and took flight to Italy. And in the very first day, you purchased so-called food, because my father received a text saying food, 700 euros. Like, what? And 4 in the morning. So I was like, yeah, are you okay, Jin? So I was like, yeah. And that was wild.
That's one heck of a story.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was your first day. How did the rest of that trip go?
So that next day, I just stay in room, you know, sobbing. I'm like, 700 euro for 2 glasses gin and tonic.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, that was lesson, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, all
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
It's a good story later on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Something to tell in a podcast, I guess. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
So you and I have already talked about language a little bit, how awful my Korean is and how good your English is. And so we're both polyglots. I'm curious to know, what has your language journey been like? Um, so Korean, I'm guessing, is your first. English would be what? Second, third, fourth? How many languages do you know, and how did you come to know them?
Uh, Basically, I can speak 2 languages, and English. Obviously, we Korean learn um, English from very young stage. But I mean, I could read and listen and understand English, but like the problem of education in Korea is, w- even though we put like monstrous money on, educating English, but people cannot talk English fluently enough. Um, is the reason is because we don't necessarily, you know, use this when communicating, you know, um, more like, for exam, you know.
Mm. Mhm.
So even though but for my case, I watch a lot of films and I listen to a lot of pop songs, so I relatively could, um, open my ear to English, but it also took me a lot of time. I'm still learning English, but after I got here, LA, I hung out with a lot of American friends, and I'm spending a lot of time with them, like every day, all day. And I knew and I know that my grandma breaks a lot of time, but I think I didn't care. I just, a lot of things to say about films, and I just went on and on. As opposed to when I was in Korea, and a lot of Korean, you know, student cases, they're really terrified of being, you know, um, incorrect in
Mm.
grammar or yeah. So, but it seems like at least my friends, you know, seemed don't care about me, you know, breaking grammar or something. They just more like either patient or more focuses on what I actually talk.
Mhm.
So and with those um generosities, I think I still can say whatever I want to say, and they just tend to listen, and I don't think I feel ashamed or um and this is basically not my first language, and well, I can manage two languages. How many languages can you speak? I always um as my friends, you can only speak English, you idiot. And then
Yep.
I'm like, so I think I hope my, you know, fellow Koreans can have more chances to just speak, more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I love that you mentioned that the response to somebody who perhaps might not be kind about someone else's learning journey is for most North Americans or North
mm,
American born individuals, they only know English. And so
yeah.
truly it's a disadvantage, but the irony is definitely there too that
Yeah.
uh, A, they don't have the empathy because they haven't been in those situations, but B, they don't have the processing or the mental capacity because they haven't exercised that part of their
Yeah.
brain.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you had any really, like, funny or, like, oops moments with language at all? Anything that sticks out in your brain?
Um, I don't know why, but like we, so the time that, the program had just started. So we had, like a brief moment of, introducing yourself or something, but I just translated this specific word. It was embarrassment,
Mm,
but when you when you just memorize that word from the book level in Korea, you know the translated Korean words, it's a little bit different because, like, I mean, it is the same, but at the same time, it depends on what circumstances you use embarrassment, right? I mean, you
mhm,
can use that word in a different meaning, whatever. But I just because at the time I just, you know, processed, Korean sentence in my head to, yield it in an English form, and I used embarrassment in a weird petition. It was a story about uh, like LAPD in my in front of my apartment. There was car was burning. I was trying to explain some hectic situation, you know, in front of my classmates, and I was trying to explain my surprise and um my sudden how can I say more like my surprise and, um but at the same time, at the time, I was like, I said embarrassment.
Mhm.
I was embarrassed to see the incident of like a car was burning and LAPDs, whatever. But people like was trying to delve into the meaning of embarrassment. What do you mean
Oh,
by being embarrassed watching a scene of like crime or something? Like
right.
be I don't know. It's like, but I also didn't understand what you guys, questions about. Yeah, that was literally a wacky moment. Yeah, yeah,
And now you know exactly when you
yeah,
wanna use that word. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Have you found at all that your, learning journey with languages has enhanced your skills as an editor, whether it's on the audio side and the details that you need to pay attention to when you're using and living in another language, or, um maybe more so on the comprehension side. Like, you know how you have to parse when you're listening to someone speak another language, you're really focusing and you're paying attention and your brain's, like, actively sorting things. Has that helped at all with editing?
Yeah, precisely. Because like, editing is you deal with the like frame by frame. Frame is like a 1/24 second. So it really gonna change if you have 1/24 second more or even less, which obviously depends on, understanding the muscle movement,
Mm.
which also, relate to the context or everything. So that was my concern before me coming in LA because like, you know, can I understand every single detail of cultural thing or everything related to this language. It turned out that, I didn't have to worry about this because I am exposed to these materials like too many times. So I have no choice but to get used to the language that specifically these characters are using. But the good thing about, like you said, parsing my brain to this different language helped me to because even though we share universally like a sense of humor or whatever, the specificity is different. So
Mhm.
I have to change my you know sense of humor, like the
Mhm.
mechanism or
Mhm.
like mm, even though like I am the same person who has my own sense of humor. Like, but when I try to execute in Korean or in English, I have to use different
Mhm.
muscle as if when you ride car or when you ride bicycle,
Mhm.
you just naturally know how to, hover them,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it took a lot of time and it still takes a lot of time to, more naturally let myself out through that vessel. But I think it's also kind of fun. It's kind of of course, it took me more effort to manage the second language to, express myself or try to make people fun, make a joke or something. But I think as if I'm playing a game with this
Mhm.
language. So
Yeah.
I believe it also nurtured my sense of Korean too. I think it just
Oh,
helps
yeah.
each other. Yeah,
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 definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I hear you on that. I think learning French in school helped me pay attention to English much differently than if I didn't have another language
mhm,
to force me to think about my first one.
yeah.
And your wife is Korean, correct?
Yes.
So, I'm curious to know, given that you guys are speaking or that you're living in a country that is a different language than what you both grew up in, do you use Korean together now or English or both? And how is that separation or melding of skills and languages that you have now?
Mm, we, I think, yeah, I know some cases that people mix up the usage
Code
and
switching?
yeah, but well, for our case, we've been together for 13, 14 years already.
Wow.
I'm doomed. Um, and we also, even before we got married, we lived 5 or 6 years already together.
Mhm.
So it's been already 7, 8 years. So I mean, we already used to using Korean solely. So we haven't changed at all in our the safest zone,
Yeah.
changing the language. But the problem is like after like summer break or something, where you don't necessarily have the chance to meet your American friends daily basis. After summer break, the first day in the fall semester, I could feel sense that okay, my English is breaking more, and I need like several days to like my yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
you have to use
gotta
it every
flex the
day.
muscles again. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just in Guatemala a month ago, and for the first week, my brain kept on defaulting to French instead of Spanish, and it
Hmm.
took me like a solid week to think first in Spanish instead. So
Yeah.
I know what you're
Mm.
talking about there. The gotta dust off the brain a
Yeah.
little bit and get back
Yeah.
into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
That's so lovely that you have each other to um retain and use and nurture Korean. Because as you said before, like we express ourselves differently in one language versus another, even though we are the same person. We do have different personality traits or sensibilities that show up differently
Yeah.
in the different languages we use.
Yeah. Especially like I recently been working on Bong Joon-ho, the director of Parasite, the most renowned
Yeah.
South Korean director. His retrospective has been you know in Academy Museum in Los Angeles. So he did like numerous interviews and numerous like screening events with Q&A with himself. And I got to edit, his interview and his retrospective videos, something like that. And also I had to translate.
Wow.
So, I mean, he can understand English. I mean, he shot several English, films in Hollywood. I mean, Mickey 17 recently with Robert Pattinson. So
Mm.
anyway, so he can understand English. So this moderators used English, but then he just responded in Korean. I so there are not that many, Korean slash English speaking editor in Los Angeles. So I got to be the one who got
Yeah.
this job. So, but I had to translate English to Korean and Korean to English.
Wow.
And Bong Joon-ho manages a lot of like humors. So I'm
Mhm.
like, how to, like yeah, it also educated me a lot. I used ChatGPT a lot. Like I put Korean or I put English in here and that way to yeah to find the most appropriate nuance or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so yeah, it helped me a lot to in both ways in Korean in
Amazing.
English. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have so much respect for translators, because like you said, it's not just the words that you're translating, it's the nuance, it's the cultural components of it's the semantics from different places. Yeah, that's a
Hmm.
very layered,
Hmm.
interesting job. Cool, that's so neat that you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of tech, how has technology changed how you travel or experience different places in the world?
um, I guess for my job, um, because I can work remotely,
Mm.
I even when I went to Tokyo or even went to New York, I had my clients, I mean, the problem is I have to communicate every time even I went to you know vacation or something but at the same time, I can also, go anywhere, um, not necessarily have to be, anchored in a specific
Hmm.
city. So that's a really plus point for me. When I was in Tokyo with my wife, I had something to deliver to my client, so I just went to a cafe.
Mm.
Um, so I spent an afternoon while my wife was just, traveling by herself. So I mean, that also gave me, you know, a chance to my wife her own freedom to, and in the evening she came to me and shared her time, of her
Hmm.
experience. And I also cherish the moment of, man, I mean, cafe in Tokyo is way, way better than the cafes in Los Angeles. So, I mean, I loved, I was, you know, like, was hurrying to finish my job. At the same time, I was just having a chill, like with this coffee. Yeah. So I think that is I also know that, okay, this is going to be my life. I think this is really good. I mean, I am going to New York next month. And when I was trying to figure out how many days I can go, I was like, maybe I should not go for that long. Maybe if there's another job's going to happen in LA. But at the same time, maybe I can just work there. So I just took like 2 weeks um, flight and whatever happens, and then I could just work there. Also, when I went to Seoul for some job there, I could do remotely, you know, with this New York person, um, for LA client, me in Seoul. So that was really
That's
okay.
super
I think this is
cool.
cool. Yeah, yeah,
That is,
yeah,
it literally opens up the world for you. That's really neat.
yeah.
Very cool. Given that you are a documenter of sorts in your career, are you a documenter at all when it comes to your travel memories?
Um, I think I take pictures for people whom I travel with,
Mm,
and which taught me how to capture like people as subject and people in some specific scenes.
mm,
Like maybe film taught me how to do, or this practices taught me how to watch film. I mean, in both ways, because it's just not about placing a person in an awesome beautiful landscape. It's more about, it taught me how to put my camera on a person and what to see and where to see, to even encompass, you know because even with the most fanciest you know gear, you know it's and you can just have like fabulous images in the Instagram or whatever, but if you really want to archive the senses and the
mm.
feeling and the memory that you specifically had with this specific person in a specific place, you gotta know where to put this camera. So I think I kind of like it, because I think I have passion or love toward this subject who are my friends.
Mm.
So yeah, that's I think that's what I do, I guess. Yeah.
That's a beautiful way of
Yeah.
putting it.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
I appreciate that.
mhm.
Um, okay, I wanna be respectful of your time, we're already a little bit over.
Yeah, no, no.
Um, but, I'm curious to know, you both lived and traveled abroad. Do you have a preference between the 2, or do you enjoy them each for the separate, um, ways that you can get into a place?
Um, I think I think people have their own definition of travel, but I think I try to at least leave. I know it's a really tricky thing to say what is living, what do you mean by
Mm,
live in a
mm,
specific place? But I think I rather um like for example, when you go to New York or Tokyo, there are so many, awesome places. So I'm like, and you are kind of get to anxious. I mean, like, I have to go this place and that place, something like that.
mm,
But I rather, for example, when I went to New York for the first time last year with my wife, we knew that, okay, we cannot go every places in New York. So we just we're just gonna, stay this place for a week.
mhm,
I mean, we are gonna more like focus on like this area and this and that, museums, you know. And we didn't even, that's why we didn't even went to like, what's that, the Statue of Liberty or something. And also we told ourselves that, okay, we're gonna come back, LA and just New York again next time. Then we will go to that place, something like that. So I went to honeymoon with my wife, of course with my wife, to Italy. And I was just, because I've been to Italy multiple times, but it was first time for my wife. So I just wanted to show a lot of things to my wife.
Oh,
So we traveled a month, and we started from Rome to Sicily. And I think I set too many destinations, and I kind of exhausted. I mean, I could present it to my wife a lot of good you know um, scenes, but at the same time, what I hoped was like more like chill vibe or something. Then it helped me to figure out, okay, I think I think I have to make choices. You
mm,
can have it all.
mm,
So that's why it made us to, when we went to Tokyo, we just like, we're gonna come back and
right.
let's just embrace this air and have more time as to look around with this, people's faces, how they look like, or how, yeah, something like that. So I think
Mm,
that's more like, I can't say it's way of living. I mean, living, contains more complicated meaning, but still, um, you are a, like, what is it, like an alien
mm,
in those places, but an alien can have their own way to hover the city.
mm,
A
mm,
city, I don't think only belongs to the citizens who actually have legitimate, legal status to live there. I mean, we also travelers have our own path to, harbor through. So I was just like, I know I'm not a citizen of Tokyo, I'm but at the same time I don't want to like a sightseeing, you know,
mm, mhm.
just taking a picture and then leave the place right away. So I think that's my kind of has become my policy right now.
Yeah.
More like, I'm just gonna embrace this scene with more room.
mm.
That's
Less frenetic energy and more just calm and take it in, like you said. Yeah, yeah, very cool.
mhm.
I kind of know the answer to this question, but have you ever been a tour guide for someone else in wherever you live?
Yeah, because like I there's one time, um this Korean VFX artist from Seoul came to Los Angeles for participating like conference or something
Mhm,
for a week, and I got to have this like interpreter job, uh, because I can speak Korean, English, and I'm in this industry, and I had chance to several days to escort them to tour the city, and yeah, And the one thing that I did well was I took them to Academy Museum that I just talked, which is gigantic museum, and which is not necessarily like general tourists would go. They would go like Santa Monica or the like Griffith Park or something. But as I knew that these filmmakers would like to go some, a little bit different place, and one of the reason why I took them to that place was because there's this merchant shop. It's damn awesome. It's not generic, when you go to like Hollywood Boulevard or Walk of Fame, there are a lot of like souvenir shops, which is a little bit like, not in a good qualities. But in that specific, merchant shop, it's really articulated, very delicate, merch are there, and these people are so excited, and they spend like at least 100 or 200 like each people.
Yeah.
And I am the member of the Academy Museum, so I had my discount thing. So people lined up for their
Their purchases.
yeah, and then I was just, sitting next to these clerk and letting know that I asked it, okay, am I allowed to do this? And he's like, okay. So they got 10% off. Yeah, it was.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. And very thoughtful too that you would bring them somewhere that you thought they would particularly like.
Yeah.
You were also a tour guide for me because when I went back to Korea in 2019, we met up in Seoul. That was within the same year that we met, right? We met in May. And then I was, and then I was in Korea in like October, November. And you were a phenomenal tour guide. Oh my gosh, you blew my mind with all the different places you brought me, and some historic, some foodie spots, some like local cafes and whatnot. And you made a full day of it. It was so awesome. So I know I thanked you back then, but I'm thanking you again because that was one of the highlights.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Very cool. Do you have a weirdest place that you've ever slept?
Slept?
Yeah.
What do you have? Like, what do you have? Like,
for me?
Slept? Yeah.
Yeah, I like to ask people the weirdest place they've slept on their trips. There's been some weird ones.
Okay. Slept. No, I think I always slept in a very secured, safe places. So
okay,
I will put that in as 2.
Okay. Episode 2, we'll get a new one. All right, we're coming to the end here. As a bonus for the listeners, I have put together like a travel playlist for them, using songs that my guests have that represent either a theme from a trip that they've been on or the sense of the kind of traveler that they are. So do you have a song that comes to mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Breathless by Camel.
Okay.
Crank it up. So it is, everyone has their own songs of, this song is so attached to my memory and the scene of Okinawa, like so firmly, so whenever I play that song, you can, just automatically, automatically the scenes are playing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for the new listeners to this song, will also have, and please play this song in your car. It will just enhance the experience of, the sense of driving. It just, it's really comes well with the highway.
Awesome.
In a sunny day. So
good road trip song, it sounds like.
Yeah.
What was the name of the artist again?
Camel, like the animal.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. You ready for the speed round to wrap things up?
I think I talked too much, but again, patiently you were listening to me again.
I wanted to. That's the point of this. I get to ask questions and you get to talk.
Yeah. And I knew that I also breaking a lot of grammar, which I don't damn care. So yeah.
Honestly,
bear with it. Yeah.
Your English is fantastic. Really. No need to. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Okay. So in one word or one sentence, where was your last trip?
Like the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tokyo,
Where is your next
Mhm.
trip?
New York,
And what is your dream destination?
San Sebastian.
Ooh, okay. How come?
I'm a foodie, and I know that that's the heaven. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Mhm.
We've talked about this a little bit, but do you prefer to see many places or to get to know one really well?
So ticket to
To get to like know a place really well, or do you prefer to go to as many as possible?
just yeah. I want to have just enough places that I can appreciate the city or the country. Yeah.
Hmm. Is your style more bougie or budget?
I think I'm a bougie person. Yeah, fancy Korean.
Love it, love it.
Okay.
Solo travel or traveling with others?
Ah,
You can say both. People have cheated on this.
both, I guess. Yeah.
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 It sounds like you and your wife have done a lot of cool travel together and you and your friends as well. So I can see why that would be a tough one.
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes you need your own time. Yeah.
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 Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you prefer guided tours or to find your own way?
Find my way. Find my way always. Yeah.
Mm. Would you prefer to travel in the ocean or outer space?
Ocean. Yeah. Mhm.
Who is your favorite YouTuber, blogger, podcaster, content creator in the travel space, if there is one that has
Probably
got your
Tara. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's this Korean YouTuber
Yeah.
who has like 3 million subscribers or something.
Oh my gosh.
His name is Pani.
Mhm.
I mean, I think he's the biggest travel YouTuber in Korea, and I think the reason I like him is he only he travels he traveled a lot by himself, and he's like a very calm and who is really composed but kind of funny person. So I think it really healed me just watching him. He just
Oh,
gibberish a lot, with his GoPro by himself and not fancy at all. But I think that humbleness kind of attracts a lot of people, which
yeah.
ended up him having 3 million subscribers. But anyway, yeah, I
Very
still like
cool.
him. Yeah,
Cool. I'll have to get the link from you
yeah, yeah,
afterwards. Okay,
yeah.
sounds good. What's your favorite mode of transportation?
Like what transportation? I
Yeah.
think I recently got to love bus more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, so that I can see the scenes while yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
Planned trips or spontaneous trips?
mhm. I plan a lot, but when you go on the site, I just go by, spontaneous mind. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah,
Sometimes it helps you can plan spontaneity a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Are you an underpacker or an overpacker?
Underpacker.
Impressive.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I even have my undies very little. Make it simple, okay?
Can always wash them in the sink. All right. What about the most overrated destination that you've been to?
Ooh, oh,
Mm,
okay. Overrated. Oh yeah. Sorry, but Venice.
I've heard that from a few people. Yep. You know
Uh,
what? I was just saying the other day to somebody, I wish that I went during the pandemic because then you could see Venice as Venice. without the hordes of tourists, you know?
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. Okay. All
Uh,
right. Most underrated destination.
Underrated. I as I spoke a lot about Okinawa to promote Okinawa more, I would pick Okinawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. Take this question how you will, because I feel like you have a few homes now. What home comfort do you miss most when you're away?
I think I still searching for what is home, what
Hmm.
home means to me. Like, but because honestly, this is too romantic response. But like, I think whatever so when I'm with my wife, I can feel that okay, this is home,
Hmm.
and okay, this is a tricky question, but I think, but I still think Seoul is my home, not Busan. I mean, I think for amount of time that I spent, because I lived in Busan for 20 years, but I got to be an adult who is more conscious about my himself. So I think it's my still because that's the place where I
Mm-hmm.
focused on myself and
Mm-hmm.
figuring out who I am, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
Seoul is, I think, still LA is for me still feel really temporary,
Yeah.
place. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What's the best piece of travel advice you've received?
Travel advice. I think the reason I started to visit local theaters was because my mentor from Korea told me to do that. So it will, yeah, just try it. And then now it has been my tradition,
Mm.
a habit. And, but it wasn't necessarily only about I have to go local theater itself, more like, you know, a local things that people would do, um, you know, people living in here, Los Angeles, wouldn't go to like Hollywood Sign, or New Yorker wouldn't go to Statue of Liberty. The places and local people would go will give me different views of in the traveling sites. I
Real
guess. Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
If you ever come to Kitchener, Ontario, I'll have to take you to the Princess Cinemas. That's our.
Okay, okay.
What's the worst piece of travel advice that you've received?
Worst. Like, um, this is kind of also tendency that Korean people would have, which is that's why when you go to some specific places, you can find a lot of Koreans because they only refer to like infos from blogs from neighbor. So whenever people recommend or people send me a link from like very generic blogs, I would, yeah, I wouldn't take it very seriously. Yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer window seats or aisle seats?
Aisle,
Really?
so that I can go to the bathroom more easily. I have my own preference, okay?
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to go for the cinematic views. Okay. Describe yourself as a traveler in 3 words.
Wow. Wow, your guests have been really tough time, I guess. Wow.
This is one that causes people to think a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give me any references? Or what's yours?
Oh gosh, for me. I'm used to asking the questions, not having them on me. I would say curious. I would say chatty. And I would say observing.
Okay. I have coffee, park, theater.
Okay, all right. Given that you travel with your wife now quite a bit, what are 3 characteristics that make a good travel partner?
Ooh. Um, yeah, my wife is perfect case because she knows how to cherish whatever moments
Hmm.
we confront, even though it's like not a ideal cases, and um o- being open to spontaneous, mind,
Mm-hmm.
and a skill set or a trained taste buds to um appreciate the local foods.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the best part of traveling for you?
Um to make myself strange. Feel strange, like I feel new about myself, I guess. Hmm.
Cool.
Hmm.
What about the worst part of travel?
Worst part. You got to miss foods from your home place. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, only 3 left. You're doing awesome.
Mm.
What's the best travel app?
App.
Mhm.
This is such not a okay. Hmm. Whatever cities would have their own, but like a bicycle
Oh,
rental, the
yeah.
what is that called? The sharing
Yeah,
bicycle
bike
apps.
sharing apps. Very cool. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite travel book or movie? And when I say travel, it can just be something that's set in another place. Doesn't have to be about travel.
S- So books or films that you want to take together, or films, or
Something
yeah.
something that maybe has like inspired you about a place or piqued your interest about a place or yeah. Or a culture. It doesn't have to be like a physical place. It could be about people as well.
I think I have to put some interesting films because I'm in
Okay.
the in the industry. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say like very films that people would easily say. Um,
Go with whatever your gut says. No judgments.
mm, okay. Um, every so there's this director. His name is Eric Romer,
Okay.
French, obviously. And when you see his films, it's about daily mm, basis, like people fall in love and cheat each other or whatever. The stories happening a lot of cities in France, and the scenes and how they wear are so, attractive enough to um help the audience to imagine what is French chic is.
Okay.
So yeah, watch any Eric Romero's films, then it will make you dream to not only travel in Paris, or yeah, it may want you to make it will make you to want to live there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Last question. What's the best gift for a traveler?
Gift for like a souvenir, or
It can be however you answer it. Some people have answered this with, I don't want to say, like, some people have gone with products, some people have gone with services, some people have gone way out of the box and answered this
uh,
differently. Somebody who enjoys travel,
mhm.
what would be a good gift for them?
I think either ice cream shop or cafe, you gotta go to. I mean, I like to go ice cream shops or cafe. It's just, I think I even thought that it's really fortunate that human beings could conceive the notion of cafe or ice cream shops. Like, it's just, yeah, in this horrendous era, we at least have cafe or ice cream shops to, chill yourself. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I like that answer. I like that a
Mhm,
lot.
mhm. Yeah.
Very cool. Jin, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was a treat to get to talk to you again. It's been a very long time. It's neat to hear what you've been up to and how life is going for you and to hear some of your stories.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I did a, you know, nice job, but yeah, I think you, took me, not the, derail this
Oh,
conversation. Yeah.
you did a lovely job.
Mm.
I'm grateful that we got to connect again. This was
Mm.
fantastic. Before I let you go, if you'd like, where can people find you? And is there anything else that you'd like to add? Are there any films that you've worked on or are working on that people should have on their to watch list? Or if they have any questions for you or want to get in touch, is there a way that you'd like them to do that?
Um, I have my own Instagram, records under dash Jin. I generally just post about my film works. Um, but I post whenever I saw, you know, Hollywood directors or like actor and actresses in film theaters. Um, so yeah, it will share what is happening in Los Angeles, especially in theatrical, realm. And the films that I can. So I've been doing the commercials or like short. I mean, I just graduated from my grad school, but my thesis film has been accepted to numerous festival, which includes the Tribeca Festival. That's why I'm going to New York next month. And I just got a Student Emmy Award.
Oh,
So this editor from the Orient has promising in the future, I guess. So yeah, film that I can recommend is La Notte, which means the night in Italian. Um, just watch it. It will open your grammar of film.
very
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Well, congratulations on all your success. It's only the beginning for you. I can't wait to see where you go with everything in life and in film. So, congrats.
Thank you very
We'll talk
much for
again
having me.
soon. Take care, Jen.
Bye.
Bye.